twice.
Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. Now, when we filmed this segment, there was a major storm going on. So for the safety of everybody, we decided to do it over Zoom, and I'm in the safety and comfort of my home. So welcome, Shay, Jackie. So what do we have on for this week? It is Black History Month, and so we're going to be talking to a principal and some students from DDSB about Black History Month and a really cool project that went underway in a way to educate and inspire staff and students around Black History Month. We're also talking to CAA and providing some travel tips to cut those costs when traveling. And the one tip you don't want to miss. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Live.
Hi, I'm Justice. And I'm Nia. And we believe dreams fuel revolutions. That's why we're engaging with Canadian icons and the causes they support.
Join us for these inspiring conversations and find out how you can be revolutionary.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Think it's too late to become more fit? Think again. I'm personal trainer Karen Ross, and my mission is to help you take control and find your way back to health and wellness. Tune in to A Little Bit Fit with me, Karen Ross, here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So now with me on the show, I have Dawn White, who is principal of GL Roberts. Dawn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. And what an exciting project to be able to talk about for Black History Month. So your students created an amazing mural. Now, how did the whole idea come about?
I think what started for us is that we were wanting to look at, we're really as a school are looking at student identity, right? And making sure that student identity is reflective within the school, within the curriculum, and landing on the desks of the students. And part of this was looking at our physical space, right? And how do we create a warm and inclusive environment for all students? So we started with the Black Student Association. There was a big space in our pit area that was just a blank wall. It's part of the stage. So, when the divider's down, it was just this blank space. And I thought, we really should work with the student groups and start creating spaces to represent identity. So we were working with the Black Student Association. There was two groups. There was the larger group that really worked on what the essence of the mural was going to be, and came up with Black Excellence is You, because we really wanted kids to see that messaging every day. And they wanted to see that messaging every day. So it was wonderful that they came up with that title. We broke the group down into a smaller leadership group who started looking at who are we going to have on this mural to represent us, and how do we want this to look. So instead of coming up with some names and throwing it up on the wall, we wanted it to be an educational journey, not just for the students, but for us as a school team and myself. I thought it was important that I really listen and learn what the kids feel they need to see every day to make sure that they feel inclusive. So it was a wonderful experience. It's probably the greatest experience of my career. It was awesome being able to sit down with the students our graduation coach for Black students. We have an equity consultant that worked with us as well. But it was amazing how we walked the journey together, right? And it was lovely to see the kids challenging each other. They would question, why are we going to put people up? Who do we want to put up and why? So they came up with the theme is we want somebody who represents the Black community, someone who takes their status, their legacy, and uses that to promote good and excellence within the Black community. They wanted to go global. They didn't want it just to be reflective of Canadian excellence, because a lot of them on the team were not from Canada. They've come from Jamaica. They've come from Africa. They have come up from Grenada. So they didn't want it just to be about Canada. They wanted to be Black excellence across the board and across globally. So it was amazing when they would sit down and they would pull a name and they'd say, okay, so here's somebody. And they would actually go, okay, let's talk about what they've done for the Black community. Right. So that's how they chose the kids. And it was remarkable to sit back and watch and learn with the kids. It was just amazing. It was an amazing experience.
What a great educational process for the students and staff members to be involved with, because I'm sure some people came to the table that some of you didn't even know about before. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So what an inspirational and educational process. What was the feedback? Sorry, I got a dog's bum.
That's awesome.
So what has been the feedback since the mural has been completed?
Positive, nothing but positive. The kids are making comments. You can feel the difference in the building. You can absolutely feel the difference. You can feel the difference when we celebrate different events throughout the school year. When visitors come in and they look at, they're like, wow, like amazing, right? It's just, you can feel the positive difference that mural has made, and the kids, you can see that positive impact. Like I've had kids walk in and they looked over the first, because we had it done over the summertime. We finished it and had it put up over the summer, and they walked in and they looked at it and they're like, oh wow, that's awesome. And it was just it was important too for us as a team, right? That journey that we walked through was also that everybody who walks through this building is going to go through that journey, and why it's important that we do the work that we're doing to support student identity within the school. So it was so positive. We're on to our next affinity group is going to be doing it. We have another space in the pitch, because that's just the center of student life in our building. We have another space that we're going to be doing another mural with that affinity group as well, just because we want kids to come into this area and space and know that they are loved and cherished in our building.
Beautiful. Dawn, thank you so much. So what an inspirational story, and using artwork to change the vibration within this space and to inspire the community. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Anything at all. He's that strong.
Joe Schuster, will you stop it or you'll miss your train? Now help me find number 5.
Strong, but by day he's a mild-mannered reporter. Glasses, a secret identity.
Honestly, you Canadian kids.
He'd be in this cape.
A what?
A cape, wearing these blue tights.
A hero in tights, really. Here it is.
Listen, Lois, this guy is faster than anything, I swear.
If you're not fast, you're gonna miss your train.
That's it. A bullet. He's faster? No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, get on it. No one's gonna read a comic strip about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings. Oh, wow, yeah.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Wait, Lois. I've got something for you. Here, take it. It's a gift. You never know, it might be worth something someday. Is he great or what? Bye-bye, boss.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So with me on the show are two students who are from the DDSB school board. They go to GL Roberts, and they undertook a really exciting mural project for Black History Month. So welcome to the show, Charla and Kaban. How are you?
We're good today. How are you?
Good. I'm really grateful you had an opportunity to come on the show and to talk about this exciting mural project.
It's a good opportunity.
Awesome. And that's what I want to find out more about. Why, like, first of all, what inspired this mural project?
What inspired this mural project was that we wanted to like show Black excellence within our school community. Like we wanted
to show that we could be recognized, and we wanted to also put on a legacy for ourselves and the rest of the students that took part of this. And what inspired us to do this was just like we get to make a change, not really a change, but we get to take part in something in our school that will carry on for years and years and years. So,
right. To inspire, to educate, and not only the student community, but also the teachers, the staff.
Yes.
Now, how large is this mural?
It's located in the pit, and it kind of takes up the whole space, so it's pretty big, I'd say. Like it's kind of like the movie theaters. If you see like the screen, it's really big.
Wow. Okay, this must have taken forever. How long did it take you to create this mural?
So we started last year, and it took us about like 2 months. So we worked together as a group in the BSA, which is a bunch of Black students that come together, and we talked and went over why this person should be in the mural, why that person shouldn't be in the mural. And we just wanted to make sure we're putting people on that will show excellence, because that is the theme of the mural, is to like Black excellence is you. So we wanted to make sure we did that correctly, and that's really it.
Very cool.
So there was a lot of Black people that we could have chose to represent us as Black students within the community, but we only had a limited amount of space. So it was where we had to implement strategy to find people that use their legacy to help, help promote Black excellence within us. So we had to implement strategies of voting. Like we had to find ways of how those Black people or Black role models use their legacy to help people. So
for example, one of the people that we chose to include on the mural is Usain Bolt.
Right.
He, as you guys know, he's a Jamaican athlete, a sprinter, and he has, not only is he a runner, but he also works with younger children, adults, to help them reach to their goal that they want to reach in their life. So he's done a great thing holding a record, but he also leads on by inspiring and I don't know what the word is, but he kind of puts a path in place for people to be successful and have their own kind of excellence.
Beautiful. I'd love to know, during the process of either the planning of the mural or the actual creation of the mural, did you have any experiences that were tough to work through? Anything that you didn't expect? Anything that was a letdown that you had to work through and maybe shift gears?
I think maybe the theme of like the title that we wanted to put on it, because we had a lot of great ideas, but it's like choosing the right one for the month, I guess, and for Black History Month, and just for us. Like it was difficult, but as a group, of course, we all voted and we all came to
a conclusion.
Yeah.
like why it should be Black Excellence is You. So
Okay. And I can see how that process in itself could be tough because, you know, everyone has their own idea of what Black excellence represents to them or how they want to inspire. So to be able to come up with a title that everyone agrees on, kind of like choosing a baby's name, right?
yeah.
We all have our own preferences. So that's wonderful. How do you think it affected you as individuals being part of this project? How did it impact you?
Well, this project has impacted me in many ways, such as helping me to become a better leader amongst my peers, helping to help others voice their ideas, to put together ideas so that we can come to a conclusion of like picking the colors for the mural, the people that are on the mural, even the theme. So it's mainly about leadership and me helping others. I feel like this mural has helped me to really understand myself and made me become a better leader, because like where I'm coming from, I wasn't really included in like groups and stuff like that. So like this project has really helped me to be inclusive and like
it's allowed us to carry on a legacy for our future. So we could look back at this and we know that we've done something in our school to
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm so great. Sorry to cut you off there, Charlotte. I am so grateful that both of you were able to take the time to share your experience on the show. And we need to wrap things up now. So we will be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
It was my daughter's birthday. She was blowing out the candles on our cake when we heard coming from the TV. So we stopped and listened, and it helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of my daughter's birthday, because now she gets to keep having them.
Hey everybody out in TV land, are you a struggling artist looking to catch a break? I'm the BMD and I'm starting a new show called Meet the Band. My new show showcases up-and-coming artists locally in the Durham region. The show promotes the artist and their creative content on the Rogers Cable Network. So tune in and connect with me at the BMD Podcast at gmail.com.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So with me on the show is Susan Postma, who's the regional manager for CAA. And today she's going to be sharing with us 5 tips to cut costs on travel, as well as the one thing when you're traveling you should never skip. So Susan, welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for having me.
Well, it is an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Now, this seems to be the time to travel. We've been going through this winter weather, had some bursts of spring, back to the cold and storms, and now everyone is like, I need to get out of here.
You're right. Everybody wants to go. People are traveling. The flights are full, so it is a busy time.
Okay, so because flights are full, I would think that destinations have an opportunity to have high prices because the demand is there. But how can we cut costs?
There's a variety of ways that you can look at how you travel. And yes, generally speaking, we are seeing an increase in price. So I think it's great to be able to look at those ideas of how you can cost save. When we talk about planning, plan as early as you can for a few reasons. Some of it's just availability. That cruise cabin may not be there, or you may not get that connection or that date that you would like. So if you can plan early, it really helps you with some availability. It also helps you to book a seat sale as you see it in the moment. So if you see it and it's on sale or it's a great price, we encourage you to book it in the moment. Don't wait. So planning ahead will help you not only maybe save some money, there may be early booking bonuses that some suppliers may offer, but it will also give you the inventory and the availability if you're very specific on how you want to travel and where you want to go.
Now, Susan, maybe you can let me know if this is accurate or not to the best of your ability. What I have heard is that if you go on your computer and you're looking at different flights and you see these sales, and then you go away and then on another day you come back, that all of a sudden those are not available anymore and the prices just keep on going up and up and up. Does that have to do with your IP address as you're logging into different sites, or is it just constantly changing?
It can be constantly changing, primarily due to availability. It's often due to availability of that seat or that flight or demand. It really can ebb and flow for a variety of reasons. So it's realistically, if you see that price and that price works for you, we encourage you to book it in the moment.
Okay, thank you. So what is another tip? How else can we cost save?
I think too, if you take a look at some of the rewards programs that you may have, if you have a points program through your credit card, or you perhaps have air miles, I think it's important. Some people maybe lose track of what they have. So really take a look at what your program offers, what points you may have, read the fine print, but you may have a car rental already paid for and not know it. So we really encourage you to take a look at those programs and see how it might best suit your travel and really utilize them. It can really be very beneficial.
Now, I do have a CAA membership. So
lovely, thank you.
I'd like to know, what kind of perks do you get with travel with your membership?
Well, with preferred partners, there's often a shipboard credit or a member saving, and it really can make a difference. We have preferred hotels where you can have a savings on what you're paying. You get a member rate. As I said, on a cruise ship, Royal Caribbean perhaps would have a shipboard credit as a booking. So it is important, and that's where a travel consultant can really help you know what are the benefits as it applies to that particular product that you're traveling with.
Now, when you're talking about a travel consultant, are you talking about someone that's specifically with either CAA or with, let's say, you have a certain credit card or a travel agent, all of the above? Does it matter?
All the above. We encourage, to book with a travel agent just to be able to give you all of that full scope of understanding of what may be available to you. Certainly people will book travel on their own, and that's fine too. But having a travel consultant really can maybe give you more understanding of what some of those suppliers are offering and what some of those best times of travel could be. And that's something that we'll also talk about, is when to travel if you have some flexibility.
Okay, so when is the best time to travel?
Well, realistically, in a perfect way, travel off-peak season or off-peak timing. So traveling at spring break can tend to be a little bit more expensive. If you're traveling over the holidays, a little bit more expensive. Typically, if you can travel maybe off a long weekend, change your departure date maybe midweek and avoid that high time frame, or you've got the flexibility to travel the week before or the week after a spring break, as an example, it tends to sometimes have a bit of a different price. So when you've got that opportunity to not necessarily travel at peak time, there may be some benefit to you for that.
Okay, or even having the flexibility with not even caring where you're going to go, just having an idea, going somewhere warm would be great. What's coming up next week?
Yeah. And we haven't seen necessarily those last minute deals, if you will, which doesn't mean that there's not some there. They're not as plentiful as they once were. But if you do have the luxury of being able to say, hey, we could leave next week, you might be able to see some benefit of what may be out there as far as a last minute offering. They're not as plentiful, but that doesn't mean they're not there. You just have to have some flexibility, and to your point, of destination and flexibility of how and when, and that might give you some opportunity to have some savings there because you're able to be a bit more nimble on when you're traveling.
Okay, so just before wrapping this up, what is that one thing that you should never skip?
The one thing you should never skip is travel insurance. We really advocate it. Travel insurance is really for that unforeseen. So that's the unforeseen medical, but the unforeseen interruption. And as we have seen, there has been disruption in travel over the past little while. So if you really protect yourself for those unforeseen travel, medical, and trip cancellation interruption, and really encourage that you do that at the time of booking. But that really is our number one recommendation of do not leave home without travel insurance.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Susan. It was wonderful having you on the show. And we'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Live.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone. Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Knights of Columbus TV Bingo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on Rogers TV with a guaranteed $5,000 grand prize jackpot on the full card winner. Every week, 7 p.m. Tuesdays, right here on Rogers TV.
I'm Jonathan Van Bilsen, and I've had the opportunity to spend my life traveling and photographing exotic locales around the world. Thanks to Rogers TV, I'm now able to share my adventures with you on my show, Photos and Travel, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Live. I would like to thank our guests for coming on the show and providing us the education and the inspiration. Those great tips from CAA was fabulous. Now, next week, as we film the show, we are going to be on location at the Polar Plunge. It's a wonderful fundraiser driven by the Durham Regional Police Services. And if they raise the goal of $30,000, I'm going in the water. So it might be a really cold plunge. If you want to make a donation, please visit their website. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Call the Rogers TV Viewer Response Line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
Jacques, it's never been done before.
Mr. Blake.
You can't see down with that thing.
Mr. Blake.
Jacques, what?
They're coming.
Hold them up. Find something. Jacques, I'm telling you for the last time.
Are the Canadians finished? Is Plant coming back on the ice? Come on, give us something, will you?
Please,
How many stitches? Gentlemen, please.
Hey, Tony, you got something to say to the people in the hall?
On November 1st, 1959, Jacques Plant of the Montreal Canadiens broke with tradition.
You're a brave man, Mr. Plant, standing up to him like that.
And changed the face of hockey forever.